Welcome back. Before we start flat packing our model for laser cutting and generating our Dxf file, I just want to reiterate that this design I've done is just a very basic model to show you the concepts and tools for in SOLIDWORKS, and in no way is this the best design or anything. In fact, if you research trusses in real life, you'll see that they don't actually join all the truss members together as one piece. In fact, they're pin jointed at each member, so you may want to incorporate that kind of design into your own bridge, or you can do it this way, but who knows which one will be stronger in this case, so that will be interesting to see. And we'll also see soon when we flat pack our parts that doing this design might cause some problems for the laser cutting if we build a very large bridge, and you'll see that in a minute. But you can easily pin join all these members together using the same method that we use to make these reinforcement parts. So you'll build your members and then have a hole and draw the components in the assembly. And if you have a look at the video series I made for the acrylic laser cutting and 3D printing, you can easily build your sheet metal bridge in the exact same way, except of course your pieces will be much thinner. So give that a watch if you're interested in that. The main focus of this series is to show you how to use the sheet metal functions in SOLIDWORKS. So let's start flat packing our parts. So let's go to File and select New, and now we want to select a drawing. So here we're going to be asked to select a sheet size, and if we have a look at our Design Studio document on Canvas, it tells us that there's a maximum cutting envelope that we're allowed to arrange all our pieces in. So what we can do is click Custom Sheet Size, and we can set our width and height to those dimensions, which are 300 by 450 millimeters. So we'll click OK, and we're going to be asked to select a part. So let's just click the X, cancel that for now. And we'll see that it's a bit buggy when we do a custom sheet size. So to fix this, we'll just right click Sheet 1, Edit Sheet Format, and then click the blue arrow, and that's all nice and fixed up. So let's bring our bridge part in. So we'll go to Drawing and Model View, and here we can select any of the open documents we have, or we can go to Browse, and we'll go to our folder, Bridge Sheet Metal, and let's select just the bridge base for now, not the bridge assembly or the fixture assembly, just the individual bridge part. We'll click Open, and now it wants us to place our part. So what we're going to do instead is come over to the left, and we've got a few options here about the different views we can put in, but what we're going to do is tick this option right here, Flat Pattern. Tick that, and now we'll bring our part over and just click in here, and we can pick some other views. So let's just select the green tick for now, because all we want is the 2D flat view, and we can see that our bridge is really small, so that's not going to work. So let's click this, and if we scroll down, we can see the scale is set to the sheet scale, which is 1 to 5. So let's select the custom scale and we'll type in 1 to 1. And now our bridge size is much better. And now we can just drag our part in into our sheet. And as you can see, we've taken up a lot of space by doing this type of design where the whole truss is one piece. And we've got a lot of wasted material inside these triangular sections. So it's okay if you want to do this type of design. Just keep in mind that it will be quite, it will use a lot of your cutting space and you'll be limited to a smaller sized bridge. So now that we have that, what we want to do is set this up for Dxf laser cutting. And we can see that there are a few extra lines. So we have some center lines on our holes, and we've even got some fold lines where it tells us where to put our folds. So let's start deleting some of these unneeded features here. So if we just click these center lines, we can delete them. And sometimes we might have to click them and delete them twice. And sometimes SOLIDWORKS can be a bit slow in these drawings. We can also delete these center lines, or we can right click and hide. And now we're left with these dotted lines. So these are kind of handy. They basically tell you in your drawing what direction you should fold and where that fold line is. So if we go over to sketch, we can actually dimension these lines and it will tell us. So once we have our laser cut part, we know that we can measure here 93.4 mil, and then that will be where we fold using the manual pan brake. So what you guys can do is create your own drawing file later on with your dimensions in it and print it out on paper, so that when you come back to uni after the break and fold up your bridge, you'll know what your dimensions are for that. So for now, let's just leave that. And what we want to do, because we're going to laser cut this, we want to get rid of these. We don't want the laser to cut on any of these lines. So if we just right click the fold line, we can go to hide. If you hide bend lines in a flat pattern, the bend notes are also removed. And so we'll say yes. And that's it. So now we have our main truss. So next we'll bring in the reinforcement parts that we made. So we'll go over to drawing, model view, and we'll browse and we'll get our reinforcement part and we'll just place that in. And as we can see again, actually we should redo that, sorry, and get our flat pattern. So reinforce, open, and here we want to select flat pattern and click somewhere here. And yeah, once again, the part looks massive. So let's double check our scale, and it's wrong. So let's change that to 1 to 1. Always use 1 to 1 for preparing a laser cut part. That looks much better. Now we can come in and hide those fold lines again, hide, and delete our center lines, and now we have that part. So if we want to change the orientation, we just come up to this symbol here, rotate view, and we can select this and rotate it, and as you can see, it snaps to different angles, so we can get 0 degrees and 45 and 90. So let's do 90, and we'll drag that up. And you may have lots and lots of parts if you decide to make and pin joint all these members individually. So what you could do, and you can watch it in the other videos about acrylic and laser cutting and 3D printing, is we created a little simple bill of materials in the Excel spreadsheet, and that way we know exactly how many of each part we need. So for this one we need 4, so we'll just click that and press Ctrl C on our keyboard and Ctrl V to paste it, and then we'll move that up, and we'll do that a few more times. And now we have all our parts arranged on our sheet for laser cutting. So let's go to File, and we'll save that, save all, and yes, we want to update. And so now we want to, well, before we create the correct file format for laser cutting, it's important to note that this drawing we've now created is still linked to all the parts that we made, these parts here, and of course our truss. So if we go back into our truss file and we change the length or the height or the thickness of our members here, then it will automatically update everything, and of course that includes our drawing. So that's very handy and good to keep in mind. So let's generate our Dxf file format. So we'll go up to File, and we'll click Save As, and as Save As File Type, we'll click this, and we'll go to .dxf. We'll call it drawing, or we could probably name it whatever our group is, maybe your Metal Tuesday 12:30 or whatever it is, and group C or something like that. Then we just press save, and you'll get this warning, but that's okay, it's just talking about the scale. And we're done, and we can open that Dxf file with some special software if we need to. And so that brings us to the end of these tutorial videos. If you have any questions or need help, come along to the workshop classes, or you can send your tutors an email or Teams message, and we'll be happy to help you out. So yeah, I hope you guys have learned something from these videos, and of course if you want to learn some extra skills, go and have a watch of the 3D print and acrylic laser cutting videos. Thank you very much. See you in class.